Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Same Same But Different with Olin and Dolores.
Here we are again, my friends. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and I am kind of hungover still.
Thanksgiving Day leftovers
Yep.
for the rest of the week.
For the rest of the week, yeah. What's your favorite Thanksgiving day? Leftovers?
I actually like everything better the day after.
Really? Well, yeah. It definitely is better the day after, I think.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I don't mind reheating again and again is definitely Thanksgiving food. Anything that's Thanksgiving related.
Yeah, I feel like turkey's better like a day after than when it's fresh.
I think turkey's gross anytime, so
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
Not great. I'm not a fan.
I know. This is like the first year I think that I've had a turkey that was actually kind of bomb.
Yeah.
Nice and juicy, not dry like per like usual Thanksgiving hot messes.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
You know what too is like Thanksgiving. Okay, so you're supposed to like put gravy on it or whatever on the turkey, but even then it's still dry. You know what I mean? The turkey itself, it's dry.
Turkey
it's just covered.
Yeah, it's just a dry
moisture.
shit.
Yeah, it's whack. I don't like turkey either. I like ham. Well, not really. I'm all about the side dishes when it comes to Thanksgiving.
What's your favorite side dish?
Green beans.
Just green beans?
Green bean casserole.
Okay. Yeah. I
and
mean,
stuffing.
Yeah, stuffing's pretty bomb. I could eat stuffing all day, every day.
Same.
Like a stuffing sandwich. Is that a thing? I mean, I'm making a thing.
You could.
You can make anything into a sandwich.
You know that they sell toast sandwiches.
Toast sandwiches? With like warm buns?
It's like, okay, so there's a piece of toast in between two pieces of bread.
Oh, huh.
Hipsters fuck.
I don't think I'd be into that, but I mean, there's something for everyone.
Yep.
But did you do any Black Friday shopping?
Hell no. I ain't got time for that.
I'm more of an online shopper.
Yeah, me too.
I think
Why
it's
go places?
Well, it's because I think it's because I worked at the mall for a million years, so now, like the idea of the mall and the idea of being at like a shopping center and stuff like that makes me fucking cringe like no one's business.
I'm not a fan of malls in general. Like I never have been.
Yeah, no. I was once upon a time during my high school days, but not so much anymore.
Oh, let's go hang out at the mall.
But like, I mean, I guess that was more like middle school than it was high school.
Yeah.
You know, your parents trust you at the mall.
Yeah. For me, it was the movies.
Yeah.
Like we would go to the movies and like not even watch a movie. We just go there to hang out.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, just meet up. We'd hang out outside and shit.
We'd be like, yeah, we're gonna go to the movies, and
yeah, like your parents. They give you money, and we would go like get food and stuff
instead of going to a movie.
Yeah, and then we just hang out, or we go to a friend's house, get into some mischief. You know.
Of course.
Always little kid mischief.
As one does. What was your little kid mischief?
Oh, it was bad. I don't want to get into that. It was like regular mischief.
Like
I guess.
Drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
A little bit more than that, but I mean, I don't want to get into details. But it was not a fun time. Well, it was a fun time, but a little too much fun for some things.
I guess.
But yeah. I'm not, like what was I gonna say? Yeah, I don't know. I don't relive those days too much anymore. I try not to think about it. But as far as I don't know how we got here from Thanksgiving. But yeah, I like green bean casserole and stuffing. And what about pies? Like your favorite desserts from Thanksgiving?
Well, I just like ice cream.
Okay. Fair enough.
Pie isn't my thing at all. Like we had pecan pie, but I don't really like pecan pie because it reminds me of little cockroaches on top. So that's not my thing.
I love pecan pie.
Ugh.
I like pumpkin pie too.
Gross.
Sweet potato pie.
I like sweet potatoes. I like sweet potato in any form. Like I could eat sweet potato all day, every day. It doesn't even matter the way it's presented. Whatever
form of the sweet potato.
Just as long as it's a sweet potato.
I dig it. I like sweet potatoes too. But what was I gonna say? So does your family do it like super American style, or is it like Mexican stuff?
I mean, it's pretty American, just the fact that it is a Thanksgiving situation. Yeah. But there's always like tortillas on the table and stuff like that.
Do they make tamales for Thanksgiving?
No.
Yeah.
That's more of a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if someone. I mean, I know I've been to other Mexican families where they do tamales, but we don't do that. But we also don't like making them because they're a freaking pain in the ass to make.
Dude, I had to make tamales like 2 years ago for Christmas. It was not fun.
It's not my favorite thing.
It's definitely not my favorite thing.
And they last for 100 years, and you're just eating the same shit over and over.
But
and
they're
just
so
like,
good. Tamales are so good.
More.
They're too good. That
They
you'll
are.
overeat every single time there are tamales around.
What's your favorite kind?
My favorite kind of tamal, I don't know what it's called, and it's supposedly like very regional to where my family is from Mexico, but it has like olives inside, and then like banana, and then like prunes, and like chicken. It's all mixed up. It's so fucking good though.
Yeah, I've never had that one.
Yeah, I forget. My grandma always tells me what it's called, but I always forget. But it's very, very like specific to our region. So like I've never met anybody not from there that's had them before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess the regular ones that everybody knows is just like the green ones, de puerco, chile verde.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty basic. I like no más de elote, I guess. But
Wow, really?
yeah. I don't like surprises.
They're like
and
way too
prunes and
sweet.
shit. I mean, but you always have to, even it out with something else that you eat.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that's why I like.
That's pretty boring.
Yeah,
Not gonna
whatever.
lie.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving though overall?
Yeah, it was fun.
Did you get wasted?
I did. Lots of rosé.
Rosé all day. Yeah, we had some rosé too. It was pretty good. It was
Champagne too.
yeah. That's funny.
It is funny. Like my family. Well, not really my family. Just my brother-in-law makes fun of me because my favorite thing to drink is champagne.
That is funny. I mean,
it is what it is.
yeah, but the only thing I don't like about champagne is that it gives you hardcore headaches. Like,
Yeah.
guaranteed every time headaches.
It's not something you could like session.
No.
It's something that you'll have like one or two and then stop.
Yeah.
Because then the hangover from champagne is so gross.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's like getting hit in the head with like a frying pan.
Yeah.
24/7.
I used to be able to drink like champagne like no one's business, dude. I was a champ.
Mm-hmm.
But not so much anymore. Now
I'm
I
aware.
look at it and it makes me cringe.
You know what's funny? I started liking champagne because of you.
Oh, that's super funny.
Like you introduced champagne into my life.
And it wasn't even like good champagne. It
No,
was straight up Andre.
It was Andre.
Oh, that's funny.
Your little bottles of Andre. I still remember that.
Hey.
It's so funny.
Dude, I thought I was fancy as fuck.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
Me and my little badass self. Oh, awkward phases.
Oh, yeah. It was a fun time, though.
It was a fun time. Never again.
But yeah, it's been an interesting week because, dude, it's so fucking hot. How could it be this hot? It was 98 degrees yesterday.
Global warming.
It's real as fuck. Sweater weather. Not happening this year.
It's canceled for the
It's
rest of our
canceled.
lives. We should just move somewhere where there's like weather.
You should just follow it. Go north.
Follow the weather.
Let's go to
Maybe
San
I was
Francisco.
gonna say relocate to San Francisco. I was just there last weekend.
I'm jealous. I was
was
supposed to be
pretty-
there
yeah.
last weekend.
It was a lot of fun. Like I could definitely see myself living there, but the fact that you have to have like 1,000,005 roommates isn't my cup of tea. I take my space very seriously.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, but I'm also not gonna be able to afford a $3,000 apartment by myself unless I have like a sugar daddy.
I mean, you probably could get one.
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever.
I mean, how bad do you want to live there? I mean, I'm going to move there next year.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
That'll be exciting.
it will be. I'm excited for it already.
Good.
Mhm.
As you should be.
I am. I was talking to my cousin who lives up there already right now. And we were just discussing the future. How excited we are.
Are you gonna move in with your cousin?
I don't think so. I think I'm just going to move out there by myself.
Oh yeah, live in
Yeah.
a little closet for $3,000.
I mean, yeah, for a bit. But I'm hoping to make a good amount of money. you know?
Yeah. I mean, so it
I'm
works
in a good
itself
field,
out.
you know?
Yeah.
So I have confidence / high hopes, I guess. But you never know, things don't always turn out how you want them to.
Yeah. You make plans and then life happens.
Exactly.
I think, fuck, dude. San Francisco was really cool though. I really liked it, and I think that if I didn't have to have a bajillion and 5 roommates, that I would definitely live there. Me and my nerdy self was really into, murder mysteries, true crime in general. Was really excited over the fact that I got to visit where the last victim of the Zodiac killer was at.
Wow, you would go to something like that.
I mean, it wasn't like specifically on my to-do list, but it just so worked out that we made a little drive by there, and I was like,
That's pretty cool. They never found him, huh?
no, he could probably still be out there, but he's probably old as shit. There's no way.
He's probably just sitting there like drinking tea, like, oh, these motherfuckers never knew it was me all along.
Some old guy just chilling with his family. He's like, I put away my old ways. I'm done being a murderer.
How do you think you would feel if you just got away with all that? Do you think you'd feel badass?
Of course.
He would feel badass because if you're killing people in the first place, you're not gonna have remorse.
Of course not. And the fact that you're getting away with it, you know what I mean? It's even
God.
talk about a confidence boost.
Right?
I imagine, not saying,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine.
Literally getting away with murder. A bunch of times too, not just once. Like a bunch. And you sent like letters and you know?
Like he wanted to get caught.
But they didn't catch him.
Yeah, he still got away. Like I think it was either BTK or Dahmer that got caught because they kind of started fucking up and, you know.
BTK got caught because he like saved some stupid he saved a letter that he was sending out on a computer that he used at church. And then and then because of that they traced it back to there.
You know what's crazy is that was like not that long ago.
No, it wasn't. I remember that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a teenager, or we were teenagers, I think.
Yeah, that was like in 2000 something. Early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember that happening and like watching all that unravel and being like, what did this guy do? And then reading into it, and it was pretty gnarly. I mean, I don't know. We always get back to serial killers at one point or another.
Yeah.
We should just change the theme to be serial killer podcast.
It's not that. Well, it just so happened that I went to San Francisco and
that's
then
true.
Charles
Manson died. Yeah, that's true too. My friend was sad. My friend Nikki doesn't love Charles Manson, but he's like really is into all this stuff, all that kind of stuff.
What, like true crime or murder or like what, cults?
Like no, like all of the above, I guess. He's really into it. Like he gave me a book about him a while ago. I just never read it. Sorry, Nick. Or no, he told me about it, but he didn't actually give it to me. But he reads books about him and like stuff like that.
I mean, I'm very fascinated by that too, like Criminal Minds, and then like, you know, people that do those FBI profiles about serial killers and stuff like that. Like I think that's so interesting. Like obviously that's why I'm so interested in the subject matter and like cults and shit like that. Like how is it that people fall into things like that? I was reading this thing the other day that said that people that are more educated are more likely to fall into things like cults.
Really? That's weird.
Isn't it? And then there was like a lot
you
of
would think it was the opposite.
Right? But I mean, I feel like you're more open-minded when you're educated.
I feel like people, that's true. That's definitely true. Because when you get educated, you realize that a lot of what you think is the reality isn't. You know, when you challenge your views like that, I could see that actually. But what's weird is that people always think about cults and they think about like murder and rape and like, you know, this guy just wants to fuck like all these women and that's why they have a cult or whatever. But like, what about cults that are kind of rad, you know, or like fun?
Like what? What's a rad cult?
I don't know if there's like, okay, so like the Source family, that seemed pretty rad to me. Like,
why?
Well, because they would just like sit around and like do drugs and not even really do like hardcore drugs. They would just like smoke a bunch of weed and then like meditate and then like have orgies and like make music. I actually listened to some of their music this week and a lot of it's pretty good. Some of it got stuck in my head. It's like right down my street, you know, as far as the music taste that I have. It's very like psychedelic rock.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd meets like, I don't know who. But yeah, like, okay, so the guy who ran it was, he was actually a murderer. He got convicted of murdering somebody before he started the cult. And how he didn't go to prison for his whole life, like, I don't know. And I researched it too. It wasn't like I don't know, but I couldn't find anything on him. But then he owned this really like fancy string of restaurants in LA and they were like the place to be. So he knew like all sorts of famous people and shit.
When was this?
I think it was in the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
And then they would just have a family and like they went and they cooked for each other and like just lived. And a lot of the people from the cult, like they made a movie recently, a documentary about it. I haven't looked into it. But a lot of the people who were talking about it, they didn't seem like it was that bad of an experience, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I think like it isn't necessarily bad. It's just that a lot of them have been, and a lot of the ones we think about have been.
Yeah.
Because really, what it is, it's just a religion that's new and small.
I guess so. I mean, I guess you can say that Christianity was a cult.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
I mean, it started off as a cult.
Like Catholicism is culty as fuck, dude.
Well, you can really say that all of those religions are cults. Just the fact that they're big.
Yeah, exactly.
Makes it not a cult anymore. It just
makes
it a religion.
But like all the weird stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like as somebody who wasn't raised within any religion, then you
the rituals.
Yeah, it's like then having like a small window because I had family members who were. It was all super weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm being forced to go to church like twice in my life and then just seeing it and be like, what the fuck? This is what you people do? It was so weird to me. Like, why is Jesus up there and he's bleeding and crying and sad and stuff?
Yeah.
Super creepy.
The rituals and the rites of passages and stuff like that. Super weird. I was reading this one about these Russian people called the Suvolnetsky. Suvolnetsky. I've been practicing how to say that for like, you don't even know how long. Suvolnetsky.
Wow. That's very impressive.
Means free people.
That's
so they were the Freedomites. And it was like in the early 1900s and they migrated to the U.S. because they were escaping religious persecution in Russia. And dude, these people were crazy. Like, they were all about communal living and like anarchy and nudity, which is so.
I dig it.
Yeah, right.
Right off the bat, I'm down. Sign me up.
But I think it's interesting how like most cults are like all about like communal living and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you have like these kind of socialist ideas of how you want to live your life,
Right.
and then you find it in a cult and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, these people were like crazy because they would always just be all naked and like do public demonstrations and things like that. And they were like crazy because like in the 20s and the 30s, they like would burn down and bomb things. Like,
wow.
They would bomb their own like places that they lived in, like schools and shit like that.
Why would they do that though?
Because they were about anarchy.
So they're like, fuck my house.
They were like,
blow
fuck
it up.
everything.
That's pretty tight.
They were super against all that stuff. But the funniest thing is that they would all just do it naked.
What? That's so weird.
Yeah, they were just like anti-government.
Naked in Russia?
No, here.
Here? Oh, the guy was just Russian.
So they started off as a Russian thing, but then they came here to escape religious persecution.
Oh, right. You said that. I'm stupid. Sorry.
But yeah, that was their thing, and they kind of just like fell apart. But they're still like a bunch of communities of these Civilnievsky people, but they kind of just changed their name to something else. So
they're still around.
Yeah.
That's rad. Well, I don't know. Don't bomb things, but other than that,
don't blow shit up.
Yeah.
That's weird. You're just spending more money.
Why
yeah.
blow shit up?
That doesn't make any sense
Who's
to me
got time
either.
for that?
Right?
Then you could go to jail. You know? Jail's a scary thing.
I wonder if any of them went to jail.
Probably. I could imagine.
More likely than not.
Yeah.
I read this other one too about this guy named Hong Ming Chen from Taiwan. So it started in 1955, and it was a mix of Buddhism and Taoism, and ufology. Ufology?
That's pretty common in cults.
I think, yeah, it's always like new wave thinking.
It's like Scientology, but little.
Well, isn't Scientology technically a cult?
I mean, yeah.
It is a cult.
Yeah, creepy as shit.
Do they arm the government to get that fucking religious exemption from taxes?
They're big enough. I say just give it to them.
I feel like religious institutions should pay taxes too.
I disagree.
You disagree? Teach their own.
Because then it like, if you want to have a separation of church and state, then you have to have that.
Yes, there should be a separation of church and state, but they should still have to pay.
Because then they're part of the state.
But they
definitely take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, as from a philosophical point of view, I could see why they would demand it. I don't have a problem with them having it. I mean, it sucks, but oh well.
I feel like you should treat everyone equal. If everyone else has to pay taxes, then you should too, because it's kind of a business. But yeah, so these people thought that it was actually really interesting because they moved to a place called Garland, Texas, because in their little Taiwanese brain, or I guess in their brain in general, it just sounded like Godland, God's land.
Wow.
So they moved to Garland.
That's funny.
So they thought the
communication error.
Right?
Godland, Texas. We're there.
So they thought the universe was 4.5 trillion years old, and that the solar system was created by a nuclear war, and that every person has 3 souls, and that humanity has been rescued on 5 different occasions by God descending from a flying saucer.
That's pretty sick.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So it was a 160 member group, and it kind of just fell apart after their leader predicted that God would appear on a TV channel, like a single TV channel,
right?
Just in North America, on March 31st, 1998. So after that didn't come through. Everyone just kind of was like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
Yeah, it's like the 2012 thing.
Yeah.
Remember, we were all supposed to be dead, and then we all made it.
Yeah, that was right. Everyone was like, "Oh, the world's gonna end." I remember like doing that math in my head. I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna be 21, like barely legal, like." It's not fair. I'm not gonna be able to enjoy my life. It's only gonna be like 10 months of fun.
Did you pack in like 10 months of good fun though, just in case?
I packed in fucking 4 years of good fun before I turned 21.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, and then dude, this guy thought that he was gonna find the Jesus of the West, and that he was gonna look a lot like Abraham Lincoln. And then, like, his followers just said, or they thought that he just misunderstood God's plan and stuff like that.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was, like, super apologetic, and he offered to be, like, stoned and crucified. But all his followers were like, dude, fuck it. Like,
it's not that serious, bro. You're
they
just
were
wrong. We're out of here.
They did Kanye Shrug and walked away.
Kanye Shrug?
Yeah.
That's so funny. They're like, all right, dude. You didn't get it. You missed it. It's all good. We're out of here.
Yeah, it was really funny. I was just like, oh, well, I mean, it could have ended worse, but I guess not.
I wonder if they're still friends.
That's a great question. I wonder if you can still talk to these people
Do
and
they
be
still
like,
live in Godland?
I don't know.
They probably moved.
We should find them on the internet.
The first sign that dude was wrong, though, was when they moved to Garland and it wasn't Godland. They should have known something's up here, because I'm sure they had signs.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you think you could ever fall for a cult, though? Like if somebody recruited you?
No, because I don't like organized shit like that.
I think that now I wouldn't, but when I was younger, I definitely was susceptible.
Oh, of course. I think I was,
would have been
too.
all into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Especially
let's do it.
if, like, one of my friends would have gotten into it, it would have been easier for me to have been like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
Dude, just come hang out.
Exactly. It's kind of
Just
like
check it
selling,
out.
like, that Amway shit.
Yeah.
And, like, what's it called? That one? Herbalife?
Oh, yeah.
That thing. Like, that's definitely a cult, too, because, you know, they're always
The
like...
cult of Herbalife?
Yeah.
That's
Buy
funny.
our shit. Buy our shit. It will make you healthy
Dude,
and
it's
skinny.
crazy how huge Herbalife is, though.
And it's such a scam.
It is such a scam.
It's so sad.
I mean, I don't know too much about it. I just have family members that, like, buy it and stuff.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I'm not
And I
into
just
that.
Kanye Shrug that.
Yeah. It's, what's it called? Multi-level marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Not about that. In my cult adventures down the internet rabbit hole, I read this other one called, or this other cult about the Order of the Solar Temple. So it was a secret society basically based on the ideas of the Knights Templar.
Oh, what? That's fucking sick.
Yeah. So it was started by...
Wait, I'm gonna refrain from, like, saying anything else before because sometimes cults get all fucked up. You know?
What? Tell me more.
No, I'm saying there's a lot of cults that you read about and that they do super, like, gnarly things. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you find out, oh, they have children and, like, all the kids got molested by, like, the main guy. You know, it's really common in cults, I think. Or, like, people that murdered and stuff. You know, like the Mansons, for example. So before I say, oh, yeah, that sounds fucking sick, it's like, okay, what did they do first? I want to pop back from my quick judgment.
So it was started in 1952 by a French author, Joseph D. Mambro, and Luc Jouret in 1984. Well, they kind of came together and they made this bigger thing. So, while Jouret, can we just call him Luc? While Luc assumed much of the public leadership, Joseph, the other guy, the French guy, convinced members that he was a member of the 14th century Christian order, the Knights Templar.
That's pretty tight.
So he was in that.
I would have fallen for that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he said that he was part of this in another life, and that his daughter Emmanuel was the cosmic child. Doesn't that just sound fucking whimsical as shit? Dude,
Yeah.
I want to be the cosmic child.
That's what I was saying. Like, I would join that.
Yeah.
I could already feel it. Let's see where this goes.
So he thought that he would lead them. So after they died, that they would get on this star Sirius.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they thought. That he would lead them to Sirius,
Mm-hmm.
and that death was an illusion, and that life continues on to other planets. So it kind of sounds like Mormons.
Like Mormons?
Yeah.
Is that what they believe?
They think that you're gonna die and you're gonna get like your own planet and shit like that
That's
if you're a
pretty
good
cool.
person. So that, I mean,
Mormons are nice, too.
they're nice, but I don't know.
Extra.
I hate when they like trick you into doing shit. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, that's never happened to me, but okay.
like when I was in Hawaii and I went to the
Oh,
Polynesian
yeah.
Center, and we thought that we were just gonna be there for a good time, and these motherfuckers fucking bust us off into BYU and then to their temple, and they were like, "Look at our temple, welcome to the visitor center."
Mm-hmm.
They like dropped us off, and they were like, "Okay, get off," and then they were like taking off, and they were like, "We're gonna be back in 15 minutes. Goodbye."
I would have just left.
Oh, dude, we were pissed. We were like, "Are you kidding me right now?"
Especially, fuck that. I'm on vacation.
Right? I don't
In
wanna
Hawaii.
fucking want to think about.
I
this.
have 0 seconds for this. As soon as, like, oh, look at our temple, like, oh, I'm leaving. And if you don't let me leave, I'm calling the police. I'll be
Yeah.
that extra. You want me to make a scene? I will make a fucking scene.
Yeah,
I'll do that right now.
it was very uncalled for. We were very disappointed.
How rude.
So yeah, so it was it was Christianity mixed with like new age philosophy. They did a lot of homeopathic medicine, and we were really into high finance, which is really funny. I thought
What?
it was super random,
That's hella random.
right?
It's like Wolf of Wall Street meets like fucking
Jesus.
meets Jesus meets like what's it called, The Grateful Dead. Like it's all
Yeah.
mixed up. Meets Game of Thrones because the fucking Knights Templar like.
If they all had a baby, that's what would happen. So Jared thought that he was like himself was like God. He saw himself as Christ, they had legal difficulties in Canada because they had guns and silencers and shit like
You
that.
can't have guns in Canada?
Well, I mean, I feel like Canada's just more strict, but apparently that's how they got cut up.
That's
Illegal
whack.
guns. So they thought that the end of the world would be due to an environmental catastrophe. That would be the reason why the world
I mean,
ended.
it fucking feels like it now. It's 100 degrees on Thanksgiving. So
Right?
they might have been onto something, Knights Templar, Wolf of Wall Street people.
Okay, so get this, right? So they thought that because it's going to be an environmental catastrophe, they started killing off some people in their groups. Like they wanted them to leave Earth prematurely and to be in transit to the better world, so they can start setting up the new world.
That's
for the rest
kind
of
of
them.
okay. If you believe in that, that's kind of smart. I think I
Right?
would volunteer. Like,
You
okay.
would?
Yeah.
You'd be a pioneer and shit?
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm all about that life. Like, I signed up to go to Mars. They didn't pick me, though.
Really? How was that?
You have to send them, like, a little video.
Really? What did you say in yours?
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm an excellent candidate to go to Mars. But then I thought about it. I was like, never mind.
I don't
If
feel
they
like
hit me up,
dying.
I would go. I don't know if I would go. I don't want to be the first one, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go second. You know?
Yeah, let someone else be first.
I mean, but because this is, like, religious and you're never going to get feedback, I would volunteer, I think. I'm about that life.
So fire was a really big deal to them. So everything that they thought was going to happen would end in fire. So the world would end in fire, and in order for them to move on to that other life, they would have to burn.
What? Okay, so, like, fake me, that's part of the Knights Templar / what are these people called again? Their real name?
They're what are they called? They are the Order of the Solar Temple.
That's such a rad name, too.
Right?
Everything about this, like, dude, Teenage Olin is there, and he's setting himself on fire and going to the New World first to set shit up for them.
So yeah, so some of the first people that they killed or they sent on fire to the New World was an infant of 3 months
Sad.
who was killed in 1994.
Sad.
Right? Super sad. So the worst part is that the way that they killed him was super dramatic and like depressing as shit. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
They drove a stake through his heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they think he was a vampire?
I don't know.
Might have.
Might have been.
Vampire baby. And wait, but they light everybody on fire after they kill them. Not to kill them?
I think I don't know. They probably just killed the baby.
Oh, okay.
So like old former group members explained that Demambro ordered the killing because the baby was believed to be the Antichrist
There you go.
described in the Bible. A few days later, Demambro, so the guy from Geneva, and his 12 followers had a spiritual ritual like the Last Supper.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and then a few days later, mass suicides and murders were conducted at both villages in Switzerland and a ski resort in Quebec.
And they all went to the future place.
Yeah, that's what they
Who
think.
lit them on fire?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe they left one behind.
So 15 inner circle members called the Awakened committed suicide by the use of poison. 30 called the Immortals were killed by bullets or smothering. 8 others called the Traitors were also killed.
Wow.
Imagine, how do you become like an awakened person or an immortal? Like, you know what I mean? Isn't that like, well, I volunteered to be an immortal person. I don't know. That's
Being immortal would suck, though.
yeah.
Think
I would
about it.
not want to be immortal.
Just live forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's boring.
It is. It's like the Age of Adeline. Have you seen that movie?
No.
It's a really good movie.
What's it about?
About this lady who was in a car accident and then she like never ages and she never dies. So yeah. So on November 16th, 1995, closer to the winter solstice, 16 of the remaining group members disappeared from their homes in France and Switzerland, and then 4 left notes which hinted at a second mass suicide and expressing their desire to see another world. 13 adults and 3 other children were found dead in a remote forest in southeast France.
Wow.
Right?
That's crazy. What is it with the mass suicide? Were they all wearing Cortezes? So many questions.
So many more questions.
Right?
So on November 15th, 1996, investigators concluded that at least 4 of the 16 did not die willingly. 3 were children. Super sad.
That is really sad.
So the 4th, Ute Verona, 34, had her jaw fractured before she died, which indicates that there was a struggle. Most have been given like sleeping drugs or just drugs to like make them fall asleep so then they can get fucking killed.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Like
is
Jonestown?
really sad. Yeah. Jonestown is really sad too.
Super sad. Like hundreds of people died in that one, right?
Yeah, that was really fucked up. They all can just gonna. That's super sad. It's crazy how it's the cult of personality. Have you heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so then during the trial, Michael, I'm gonna butcher this, I'm sorry. Michael Tabachnik, a French magistrate, and Luc Fontaine, stated that two members, policeman Jean-Pierre Lanchette and architect Andre Fridelli, shot the others, including 3 children aged 18 months, 2 years, and 4 years. The two poured gasoline over their bodies and then set them on fire, shot themselves, and fell into the flames.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Gnarly.
That's fucking crazy.
That's commitment, though.
Imagine if you fucking do all that and then your end game is to shoot yourself in the head to fall into the fire, and then you don't fall in the fire.
And then you don't get to go.
And then you don't get to go. And then you're fucked. And you're just like, I did all that fucking killing for nothing.
I think that their God should give them a break. You know? Like, okay, dude, you tried. You did all you could.
You guys had good intentions.
I know. You guys had great intentions of murder and suicide and then burning yourselves and then going to the new world.
I appreciate your sacrifice. So then 5 additional adult members and 3 teenage kids apparently tried to commit suicide on the day of the spring equinox on March 20th, 1997 in Quebec. And they attempted, well, they died. Or they didn't die because of their faulty equipment.
Wow.
So the teenage son and daughter of one of the couples convinced their parents that they wanted to live. Talk about these fucking kids being like, dude, I don't want to be in this fucking cult.
It's like, what the fuck? Or
Right?
imagine, like, getting out and it's like, that's not reality, you know?
Right? And being like, dude, I almost fucking died.
I almost died because my parents were idiots.
It's not my fault, you guys.
He was so convincing.
I couldn't be indoctrinated. I was too smart. So they were allowed to leave while the adults made their second successful attempt and burned down the house themselves in it. Themselves in it. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
4 of their bodies were arranged in the form of a cross. The teens were found drugged but safe in a nearby building.
That's nuts.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You can cut that out.
Well, we're gonna. Dude, let me crack these windows. I'm like sweating. Alright, cool. But yeah.
They found a note by their
There's
body.
more.
Yeah, there's more.
Dude.
That they thought that the death on Earth would lead them to a transit to a new planet where their lives would continue. Members of the religious groups appear to synchronize their mass suicides following solstices and equinoxes. And the solar temple still exists.
Where?
So there's over 30 surviving members in Quebec and 140 to 500 worldwide.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. Additional mass murders and suicides in Quebec, France, and Switzerland are possible following future solstices or equinoxes near the end of March, June, September, and December. The Canadian police are limited by the country's Charter of Rights and Freedoms, so they cannot investigate religious groups that are registered as such with the government. They can only investigate individuals.
That's weird.
Right?
That's super weird.
I know.
And like, why?
It's like they know that it might happen,
But there's nothing to do about it?
but there's nothing that they can do about it.
Yeah, that's dumb. They should be able to do something about it.
But they can't because they're protected under religious freedom.
That's whack.
I mean, that's why people come here. That's why the United States was started.
That's true. Because all those crazy people left.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are way too crazy for Europe.
You puritanical fools.
You know what's funny about the Puritans?
What?
That people don't think about. Well, people don't like. That's not the first thing they think about them, or they would assume otherwise. But the Puritans were like all about fucking.
Were they?
Yeah, like they would have like weekly, part of their mass, like weekly, was showing men like how to fuck their wives well. So because they believe like, well, they were just into having families and stuff, and they knew how integral of a part that was to maintaining a good relationship with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
So they were super into it, and plus they always they wanted to have like a lot more members. So, you know, procreate people.
Yeah.
So they were all about doing
Fucking.
it. Yeah, doing it. And they were also super inclusive of people who weren't like same skin color as them.
Interesting.
Yeah. I learned about them in like a history class that I took.
Interesting.
My one general like my elective course that I've taken was in history, and they talked about that.
So the next one that I looked up is probably like my most favorite one. not because it was that fucked up, but the fact that it was just so interesting and that people still kind of follow the guy's teachings. So it's Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh's communities. You probably don't know who that is, but
No.
if you're into like self-help or like religious readings, you probably have heard of Osho.
Mm-mm.
So Osho is huge. Like, you read those books, and like if you ever read an Osho book, like it resonates with you because it's all about working on yourself and being at peace with yourself, which is why I like,
Mm-hmm.
like all that stuff, at least myself, like me personally, is because it teaches you how to be at peace with yourself and accept the things that you can't change,
Mm-hmm.
and how to, just be a better person overall, which I think it should be the goal of almost any religion,
Mm-hmm.
love others and treat others the way that you should be treated, which apparently is something kindergarten that you have to still remind people that you have to be kind and shit like that. Who would have thought it's so hard? But anyways, so I'm just gonna call him Osho for the rest of everything. So he had a
super difficult to say.
Yeah, this is very hard to say. Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh. It's not that hard, but Osho's just short. So he was an Indian mystic who found several towns in Oregon through the 1980s. The human experience of separateness, duality, and temporality are held to be kind of at a dance or a play of cosmic consciousness in which everything is sacred. The absolute worth and end is in itself.
Wow.
Right? Talk about a fucking meta-ass sentence.
Yeah.
So followers had taken over a worn-out cattle ranch in Oregon, and they tried to create it into religious utopia. They formed a city and took over another, and they all had Rolls Royces.
That's tight.
Right? Isn't
I'm
that
all about
fucking
this
sick?
already.
Just Osho running around his Rolls Royce.
Love thyself. Roll up in a Rolls Royce.
So another thing about Osho's communities, which was super crazy, is the way that they try to influence the community.
Mm-hmm.
So they had marked people for murder. So the Oregon's chief federal prosecutor had been on their list. They also stalked the state attorney general, lining him up for death as well.
Wow.
Right? This is the craziest thing. But
This took a left turn.
It's gonna get even fucking crazier.
So these we're all hippies and treat people do unto others, but murder.
Do unto others as long as it's
Do you
convenient
know why
to
they
us.
were going after him?
They were trying to sway political favor to themselves.
Mm.
Like, Oregon's pretty liberal and they're pretty out there and pretty accepting of everything, but these guys are way too much for them.
Boom, I could imagine.
Right? For them to be like, dude, I don't know about these guys. Like,
That's a lot.
Let's you know about how crazy that was. So I think that the craziest thing about this community of people is that they executed the first bioterrorist attack in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did they do?
So they contaminated salad bars and places and restaurants with salmonella in 1984.
That's fucked up.
Right? They would do it everywhere. Grocery stores, public buildings,
With what?
political rally with salmonella.
No, but how? What was their technique?
I don't know.
Raw chicken everywhere?
Right? Dude, who knows? That's probably what they did. That's a great question. They didn't say. I would have written that down. Yeah, but can you imagine? I'm like, you're trying to be healthy, eat at the salad bar, and then you just get salmonella.
And y'all dead. Well, not dead, but you feel like shit. Do you die from salmonella?
Yeah, you can.
You can if it's really bad, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You just get explosive diarrhea for days.
That sucks.
Dude, baby wipes. Or a fucking...
Crucial.
A bidet. Did you know bidets were American inventions?
I mean, I'm not surprised. We invent lots of great things. You're welcome, world.
They didn't catch on here.
Did they not?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I guess not. I've never used one. I've seen one, but I didn't use it.
So they also had an idea of flying a bomb-ridden plane into the courthouse in Dalles.
Wow.
16 years before Al Qaeda did it.
What?
Isn't that crazy that they were the first to think of planes as weapons? I mean, I guess other people have thought about it too, but no one else did it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, fuck you for making life miserable while flying.
It sucks. Flying is one, but now they're running cars into groups of people. It's so difficult to feel safe.
Right? You're just minding your own business, walking home, all bitter, or maybe excited just to go home, take a shit at your own toilet.
With your bidet, hopefully, if you have one.
Or your baby wipes.
Or your wet wipes, yeah.
And then this guy just comes through and plows you.
That would suck so bad.
You're just like, no, I just wanted to go home and take a shit.
Why is that the first thing that like came to your mind?
I don't know.
That's weird.
Because it's the most relaxing thing you can do at home. That some people don't like doing in public.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, whatever. It's all the same thing.
So Osho was super impatient. He wanted to build his own city.
You keep saying Osho, and I'm thinking of O'Shea, so I just see Ice Cube in my mind when you're talking about this guy. O'Shea, just mad Ice Cube, mad hippie Indian Ice Cube.
Yeah. So Ice Cube, our leader Ice Cube.
Our grand leader Ice Cube of NWA.
So the whole reason why he started doing all this stuff and started like telling his leaders to do this stuff was because he wanted to build his own city, and he was frustrated with the laws and regulations that came about with trying to open your own city or to start your own city.
Mm-hmm.
So he was super over the legal battles and hostility from local residents because, you know, they didn't want him there. Like, it was crazy that these freaking fools dressed in orange, because that was their attire, was orange robes. Wanting to start sitting, just riding around Rolls Royces. Like, how crazy is that?
How do they all afford Rolls Royces?
People just gave them money. I'm telling you, it's because it was all like smart people that actually made bills.
That's pretty tight. It's like Scientology.
Exactly.
A bunch of celebs.
So most of the original disciples left because they were disillusioned, and Osho himself withdrew from public appearances. What's crazy is that people still follow the religion. Like, when I was looking at it and stuff like that, one of like the most famous names that came about was Ariana Huffington.
What?
Yeah, she like
No
went
way.
to a retreat and shit like that.
That's surprising. That's big time, I think. Yeah. That's surprising.
You know, but it's like...
I mean, because it wasn't... Okay, it started off really cool, and it just took like a left turn with all this like murder and violence, but...
Right? And biochemical terrorist attacks and
like,
stuff.
hey, let's fucking fly planes into things. Like, okay, if we don't do all that, but we're just all about the self-help stuff, I'm cool.
Right.
You know?
Cool. Why couldn't we just chill?
Hey, how about we just like do our own thing?
Right? Why do we have to have our own city? Why can't we just be happy with my cattle ranch?
Yeah. Just, all right, dude, you can't do everything you want to do.
They were just squatters at some cattle ranch.
Yeah. No Rolls Royces.
Right? That's why nobody liked them, because they were squatters.
Did they all have the same Rolls Royce?
They probably were
No
different
wonder they could
variations.
afford a Rolls Royce. You're squatting. You're not
Right?
paying for shit.
And there's always someone there, so they can't kick you out.
What do you mean?
So to be a squatter, there always has to be someone there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can't kick out squatters?
Mm-mm.
I have no idea about this world.
Yeah, you can't
Why
kick
not?
out squatters, because they kind of took. It's like, I mean, I could be completely wrong on this, and I didn't do any research on this, but it's like eminent domain.
Okay.
You kind of just take over somewhere,
Wow.
like planting your flag somewhere that no one's lived in for months, and saying, "This
Oh,
is my shit.
I see.
I am colonizing this
Isn't
house."
eminent domain like that the government could take over any place that they want,
Yeah,
but they just have to pay you for it?
something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But they used it against them, so now they're the government.
Oh.
I am the captain.
I'm the captain and I'm going to blow shit up if you say otherwise.
Yes.
Sounds like the government.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough.
But that's all I looked up.
I mean, that's all very interesting. Given, like, we were inspired by Charles Manson.
I know, that's a rabbit hole I fell down.
Dude, it was just gnarly because, like, how much... Like, why is he the one that's so seen as, like, the world's, like, greatest monster or whatever, you know?
Because he never actually killed anyone. He had other people kill people for him.
Yeah, but is that why, though? Because
I
if
think
he
so.
didn't even kill anybody, like, he was just convincing people to kill people.
Yeah.
But why is it him that we think about when we think about, like, mass murder or stuff like that?
I mean, it's probably not for other people, but maybe just for us. Does that make sense?
I feel like it's not for me, but it is for other people a lot
Yeah.
more.
But it's hard to generalize what other people think.
I mean,
especially-
that's true.
Yeah,
But
generally speaking.
generally speaking, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people see him as, like, this crazy ass dude, which he is, but...
I think it's also because he killed an actress and
Yeah.
people who were...
That's what I was about to
Big.
say, because it has to do... He was, like, famous-ish, or with in a circle of famous people.
Yeah.
So that just adds to, like, the amount of eyes that are going to look. Because he killed somebody in, like, one of the Beach Boys' houses, right? Like, he
Sharon
was renting.
Tate?
Yeah, he killed Sharon Tate, but in one of the houses that the guy who owned it was one of the Beach Boys.
On Cielo Drive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really sad too. Dude, he killed a lot of people. Like, a lot of... Those 3 people that he killed that night were worth millions of dollars. Like, dude,
Yeah.
and then Sharon Tate was pregnant. How sad.
Yeah, it's super sad.
Like, I think he killed one of the people that was supposed to, like, inherit some coffee fund, like, fortune. I think it was, like, the Folgers. And then some other rich guy, too. Poor little rich people.
And he was a fucking Nazi too, on top of everything.
Was he a Nazi?
Yeah, swastika tattoo on his face.
I thought it was because you know how they have that same symbol for.
No, he was starting,
Spiritual?
dude. He was getting people prepared for a racial war that was gonna happen between whites and blacks.
Oh.
Yeah, he was super racist.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's some shit.
That is some shit. And then he just was like, oh, let's murder a bunch of people. You know?
Yeah.
It's gnarly though, like how, like the reaction, okay, of the government towards that OSHA guy or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
How like we were saying like they couldn't really do much or whatever, or like the Canadian ones that they couldn't do anything.
The Solar Temple people.
Yeah, the Solar Temple people. There you go. Because in America, it's like if you have a fucking cult and we're suspecting you of doing shit, like we'll blow your shit up.
Yeah.
Like David Koresh, you know.
Oh, that one's a good one too.
That one's fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to talk out of turn because I don't know too much about it, but I've know enough. Like,
what do you know about it?
well, just like I know the general. Like, if anybody who knows like what happened, like I know pretty much that. You know the basics of it all about how like they had these people surrounded and they thought that they were gonna kill all the kids or something, so they started shooting at them, which is like you're opening fire in a building full of children, you know, and then they burned it to the ground, and like they don't really know. Like I feel like it was just handled so poorly, but then again, it's so easy to criticize like the actions of the police, right?
Yeah.
Like, but you don't know what you would do in that situation either.
Exactly.
It's like super easy to be like afterwards, but when you're like you forget that they're people sometimes, you know.
Hindsight's 20/20. Isn't that
Always,
what they say?
yeah. It's always 20/20, but when you're in the moment, who knows, right? And you think
Yeah.
this guy's a fucking weirdo who thinks he's Jesus. Well, he is a weirdo.
You're just trying to think on your feet.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a strange topic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to think about. I mean, I don't know. How do you think it would be to like grow up in one though? You know?
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Who knows? It's like you're trying to get indoctrinated to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know any better.
Yeah.
Like I read this interview of this girl that grew up in the Westboro Baptist Church,
Oh yeah.
and like,
The one who left,
Yeah.
Megan Phelps or whatever.
yeah, Megan something.
Phelps Roper, I think, something like that.
And she didn't realize it was bad, and like it was all she knew until she got on Twitter and was like, why do people hate us so much? We're just trying to spread the word of God and this, that, and the third. And like she didn't realize until talking with other people what she was doing. It like put everything into perspective. Like, dude, people are dying and they're at funerals, and you guys are calling them like,
Mhm.
you're just fucking there saying shit to them. It's like, how are you gonna do that?
Yeah. Like you say some evil, vile ass shit too.
And then you just go with it because you don't know anything else but
But
that.
yeah.
I actually went to school with some people who were in a cult, who grew up in a cult.
Yeah? Did
Yeah.
you go or we went?
We went. You probably didn't know them though.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah, but it was
Because
a
like
very
I would
sad
have remembered
story.
as soon as you told me.
They just shared. It's not my place to share their
Yeah.
story, but
Mhm.
it was a very sad experience.
Yeah, I bet.
And it was I remember hearing the story for the first time and just being like in tears
That sucks.
because it was really sad.
I mean, because a lot of things like like a lot of the ones that we talked about were pretty mild, but yeah, there's a lot that go on. Like they happen, and it's just people, you know, they take advantage of a certain situation, you
Yeah.
know? And it's all just, I feel like it's always just a guy who has like this giant ego about him for whatever reason, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he just feels, like to me, the common denominator is always like, homeboy just feels the right to just be able to have like a concubine, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's the root of it is always like sexual deviancy with these people, you know? And I don't even think it's so much the sexual thing, but it's the control, it's the power thing,
Yeah.
you know, of knowing I have all these women and then all these guys who will just, you know, get in line and do whatever the fuck I tell them to do. And then just how much abuse they get away with for so long because these people think they're gods, you know?
Yeah.
Because they really do.
Do you think if the culture was more sexually liberated and didn't make people like repress themselves so much, there would be so much sexual violence, you think?
No, I think it would be everybody would chill the fuck out because I think that's the stem of it all, honestly. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a psychologist. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if I just had a like ballpark guess,
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. It's like,
yeah, I think that sexual repression is where abuse comes from. It's going like, I can't express what I am, therefore like you have to sneak it and you have to hide.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's where abuse happens.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't, okay, I'll take it out on somebody who won't say anything. Or
It's a power play.
it's a power play, exactly. Or it's even just people, people who have been sexually abused themselves, either lashing or trying to rationalize their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like one of the things that, like, it's not common, but I think people always kind of assume, like, victims of sexual violence or whatever, like, they go and they do things because it happened to them and they're angry at the world, so they go and lash out. But one of the things that I think that isn't as commonly thought about is I believe that a lot of those people that do that is because it's their way of rationalizing it to themselves that what happened to them was not that bad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, look, this is fine. I'm a good person. I did this. It happened to me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if what I'm saying makes too much sense, but it's a way of them dealing with that demon.
Yeah.
And not realizing at the moment that they're hurting somebody,
But I feel like when something like that happens to you, not saying that I know anything about this,
right?
is like you kind of become stagnant in that situation.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know anything about it either, but I'm like, people and stuff.
Yeah.
You hear stories, and yeah, it's fucked up. But I don't know, and I think it's weird because all the things that I've ever looked up, that there's always that root. I think that's what I was trying to get at here with like the cults and stuff. There's always that. I guess it always kind of stems from that, or is there something like, why does that always happen in these groups? You know what I mean? Or so commonly. I shouldn't say always, but and I think it comes a lot from people feeling that they have the right to do like what does it take for somebody to believe that they're God? To believe like, oh, I'm the one. I mean, that's like, to be that amount of crazy, like what has to happen to you in your life that's who you think you are?
They were probably dropped on their head as a baby.
Probably.
They had a concussion as a child.
I mean, it's probably such like it's like a cocktail of things, right? It's biological probably, and then it's like how you were raised and all this stuff, and then you think, oh, I'm this important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, that's a trip.
It is a trip. And then you think, okay, I'm important to the point where other people have to follow me. I'm significant. And to me, it's like such a sign of being a shitty person, Because like, for example, Bill Cosby, like his assistants kind of came out and said that he used to like force them to watch him eat dinner. Like, he was that important that he would make them sit there and watch him just eat food.
Yeah.
And that he forced like his assistants to like tuck him into bed every night.
That's so weird.
It is weird, but like, that's what I'm getting at here, is that there's always like that tinge of like, my satisfaction and who I am as a person comes before anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, that makes you treat people as if they're subhuman.
Is that narcissism though?
I don't know what it is, I think it is narcissism, but like to an extreme, because I mean, I'm pretty full of myself, but I don't think I'm a god.
I wonder what that like line is.
Yeah.
Of confidence and then narcissism.
I think it's like a very blurry line, honestly. I think they're like two sides of the same coin.
That's some shit.
Yeah. But definitely there's like an acceptable level of narcissism, right? And then there's a certain point where it becomes pathological,
Yeah.
Where
I feel that.
I think in that I think that line is how it is with you and others. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like how you treat others?
How you view others. Do you view yourself so highly that you view others as being like lesser than you? Mm-hmm. Or do you view yourself so highly that you view yourself as being just as important as everybody else? You know what I mean? I think it's fine. It's good. It's good to be confident to the point where you don't feel like you're anybody's lesser, right? But it's not good if you let it take you to the point where you feel like you're superior to everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that even that's complicated. Like, if you're an athlete and you feel like, oh, I'm superior to all these people, but like it's in the context of your sport, that's one thing, as long as you don't take it out to your real life. Yeah, that's what I
was gonna say. Like, are you looking at other people in like your industry, or is it just
like... No. Like, if it comes to like, for me, like whatever, like I think I'm a better programmer than certain people, right? Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like just in everyday life, general relationships.
Like, you in general, like you yourself are better than anyone else. Doesn't even matter what they do,
because of the fact that you are you're better than people already. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what I think. That's where crazy. It comes down to being a shitty person.
Yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. But you have to have. I think in order to start something like a cult, like how do you even Like, I can't even imagine wanting that many people, to just do what I want them to do.
I mean, not you, but like some other people are all about that. They're like, I feel like you have to be a certain amount of sociopath to be like a president and stuff like that, because it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like you have to be some sort of special person to want to lead a country of millions.
Right. I guess I'm a little sociopathic because I wanted to be the president when I was a kid.
I mean, but as a child, who didn't want to
true.
be the president? Like, those are the jobs that people told you to like look up to.
Right.
Dude, I can't even imagine being that charismatic to have people like want to do my bidding, or like, you know what I mean, like throw themselves at what I wanted them to do.
Yeah.
I can barely convince my fucking cat to eat when I want him to.
That's funny. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine what that's like either. I mean, I naturally try to gear myself more towards leadership roles, but it's not because like, it's weird because it might be the same thing, but it might be my way of rationalizing it, you know? But I don't like to be told what to do. And that's why, Yeah. I don't really care about telling other people how to live their life, but I just don't like it to happen to me. Yeah. And I've recognized that the only way to do that is if you're taking lead. Yeah. Like, and that's why I'm saying, like, it might be okay. Yeah, maybe I do like telling people what to do or whatever, but I don't know. To me, it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about, let me live my life and make my own decisions, yeah. But definitely to a point where it's like, you guys have to do every single last thing that I say. Like,
that's too much.
That's way too much. Like, how do you even think that much of yourself? Like, where, like, like, have you never been wrong? Like, you never failed a test? You never, like, something's ever happened to you?
There's probably those people that are like, if I am wrong, there is no right.
Exactly. Like, have you never been dumped? Like, what's your reality check, though? If you're just a regular ass person, dude, like, chill,
Who knows? Way to make it, we made it, creepy again.
I mean, that's kind of our lane at this point. It kind of happens every time.
Creepy.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Well, damn. Let's end on a positive note. What's something positive that's happened to you this past week?
Oh, this week has been awful. Just kidding. I mean, no. I can't. This week has been so vanilla, plain boring.
Yeah.
That, like, I can't even, like, oh, yeah, this is so great, Like, there's really nothing that's happened this week besides Thanksgiving, which is okay, And that's about it. But, I mean, I don't think it's, we make it that creepy. We just got kind of deep, bro.
I think my good thing was probably the Thanksgiving thing, too. I mean,
being with family and stuff is
yeah,
nice.
Being with family is good, and if you have a healthy relationship with your family. And I have a pretty good relationship with my family, especially my extended family, so it doesn't matter. I had a great Thanksgiving, and if you didn't, then I'm so sorry.
I feel like I have a very good relationship with my almost entire family.
Yeah.
Except for a certain amount of people, but
I mean, of course, you're never gonna get along with everyone.
Everyone's, but I feel like 99% of people.
Do you guys hear that angry bird?
That bird's pissed. He wants us to get out of their zone.
Yeah.
But I feel like, I have a good relationship with my family, so I'm always happy to see them. I mean, I have a fuck ton of cousins. I come from two big families, so like I'm just surrounded by. I see them all the time too. Should I live with one of my cousins? Two of my cousins. So.
Shout out to them.
So
so you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We're Same But Diff.
Podcast.
And I'm Dolores.esp on Instagram.
And I am Charles Olin on absolutely everything that you will ever find me on.
And you can email us your questions at samebutdiffpodcast@gmail.com. We welcome any suggestions on anything. Give us your 2 cents.
That also, feel free to DM us on our Instagram.
Unless
any suggestions.
Your opinion
sucks, which in that case we'll just ignore you.
Yeah.
Until then, my friends.
Catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.